Welcome everyone to Western Mass News Digital Edition. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Amanda Martin Ryan. Drivers are asking the city of Springfield to act fast regarding snow piles that continue to be a problem at intersections. Massive mounds of snow are turning intersections into blind corners across Western Mass. Drivers say they can't see oncoming traffic. People are warning each other on social media to be careful in cities like Chicopee and Springfield. The mayor's office of Springfield tells Western Mass News that plans are underway to remove the snow and fix visibility issues. However, at this time, no one was able to provide a timeline as to when those problems will be fixed.
Ludlow will be removing snow tonight and has issued a parking ban starting at 10 p.m. On-street parking will be prohibited on East Street from King Street to Center Street, Sewell Street from East Street to Howard Street, and Chestnut Street from Windsor Street to East Street. The ban will last until noon tomorrow.
Tonight, the Massachusetts Nurses Association also holding 2 candlelight vigils to honor Alex Preddy. One will be held at the Northampton VA Medical Center in Leeds at 7:30. It'll coincide with another vigil at the Worcester VA Clinic. Feeling like they lost one of their own, the MNA says they hope to honor Preddy's services as a nurse, his advocacy for human rights, and the veterans he served.
A man who allegedly exposed himself to young children now faces charges. Police opened an investigation into 34-year-old Brendan Lovell of Ware Monday after receiving those reports. Police say they have since arrested him and charged him with indecent exposure, open and gross lewdness, and witness intimidation. Lovell was held on $25,000 bail and is being arraigned today in Eastern Hampshire District Court.
All right, it was a bitterly cold start this morning. We got all the way down to negative 15 degrees, tying the old record. Well, the current record still of negative 15 as well. Clear sky last night, deep snowpack, no wind. Temperatures bottomed out as readings started below zero. Just a frigid cold start, cold this morning in quite a while. Now tomorrow the temperatures may not be quite as cold, but the wind is going to be a lot stronger tomorrow morning. So we are talking about wind chills that could be as cold as negative 10 to negative 30. Right now we're sitting at the 22, lower 20s with that wind out of the west-northwest, and we get a reinforcing shot of cold air that's coming in for tonight and on into tomorrow as well. So cold weather advisory and extreme cold warnings are up for all of New England for that matter. The extreme cold warning for Berkshire County, that's where wind chills could be as low as negative 30, but in the valley, wind chills as low as negative 15 to negative 25. So you can see the temp now is at 16. We have that wind at, I should say, 22. The wind's at 16. Our wind chill is at 8, but that's only going to steadily be falling as the Arctic air moves in. By the way, can't rule out a quick snow shower this evening, the leading edge of that colder air. These are wind chills by tomorrow morning, negative 20 to negative 30. We stay with that feel-like temperature below zero all day tomorrow, although the wind will relax a little bit as we go into the afternoon, and then it will relax tomorrow night. So highs tomorrow, though, probably about 5 to 10 degrees colder than today, and it is going to be windier as well. All right, that powerful ocean storm becoming more confident of minimal impacts for here in Western Mass. Heavy snow perhaps for the Cape and the islands. There will be some coastal flooding, especially southeastern Mass, but especially the Cape. That's where we could end up with perhaps double-digit snowfall amounts, maybe some flurries or some light snow for us the way it is looking, especially east of Interstate 91. But at this point, you know, it's quite possible we might not end up with anything here in Western Mass, as we spoke about yesterday. So here's the area of low pressure. It's a powerful ocean storm, but most signs suggest that it will stay far enough offshore that, again, will be right on the western edge of some flurries or some light snow. So greatest impacts across the Cape, moderate impacts south of Boston, and then low to no impacts here in Western Mass. So yesterday we had 0 to 3, just tweaking it a little bit. Springfield to Northampton, 0 to maybe 2. Out towards Worcester County, the Boston area maybe around 2-3 inches, and then southeastern Mass 4. And you get out on the Cape, 8+ inches of snow with winds over 50 miles per hour. They may actually have blizzard conditions out on the Cape late Sunday on into Sunday night. So it's cold and dry on Saturday with sunshine. The wind will be lighter but still blustery. Then lots of clouds Sunday. It'll be blustery here. Winds might gust to about 30 miles per hour. Maybe some flurries or touch of light snow, especially Springfield points east. That cold air is going to get driven all the way down into the southeast. Check out, just for example, Orlando's high behind our storm system, 47 on Sunday. By the way, the Carolinas, including South Carolina, going to pick up some snowfall out of this system as it develops off the Carolina coast. So first alert weather day really now through tomorrow morning anyway, with the low wind chills, and then still won't take it quite out yet, but potential first alert weather day on Sunday, although it's looking less likely. And then we actually, dare I say, warm up to between 25 and 30 for the beginning of next week. Okay, that's your forecast. We'll see you again top of the hour. Amanda and Chris, over to you.
All right, Dan, thank you. The cola wars are back.
We have a sneak peek for you concerning Pepsi's ad for the big game.
And it features a polar bear, which Coca-Cola has used in commercials for years. The bear takes a blindfolded Pepsi challenge and learns he prefers Pepsi Zero.
This takes him on a road of self-discovery. The ad was directed by Oscar-winning director Taika Waititi, who has a cameo, actually, as the therapist.
It is funny. He is one of my favorite directors, I must say. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching today's Western Mass News Digital Edition.
Be sure to tune in to Western Mass News at 4 on ABC 40 coming up soon. Have a great day.